Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you an OP stealth rogue assassin in Oblivion Remastered. Now if we use the chameleon spell here, we can effectively turn ourselves invisible and then get right up and close into enemies and take them out with massive amounts of sneak damage. This is a cold dagger and we were able to one-shot him there, and this Daedra here doesn't even recognize we're behind them. Now with specific gear we can also get this, but early game the Shrouded Hood from the Dark Brotherhood is going to give you 4 to 5 sneak, illusion, marksman, and blade, which is very great. However, later in the game, you can get like the Ring of the Khajiit here and many other armor pieces to give yourself pretty much 100% invisibility, which is going to be really powerful because otherwise they won't be able to see you. So early game, your boots will dictate how stealthily you'll be running around. So I'd actually recommend going without boots here. But now we're pretty much invisible and you can just run around. So yeah, obviously this becomes very powerful because this spider lady does not even see us and we can just stab her right in the face. So yeah, with a stealth based class, there's a lot of things you can do. Stealth is very powerful in both Oblivion and Skyrim, but it shines here because you can get the full chameleon gear. Now this obviously cheeses the game quite a bit. You don't actually have to use that. You can actually get your stealth all the way up to 100 before you even start the game too, which is pretty nice if you really wanted to go that route. But with chameleon, you're pretty much invisible. There are some glitches though. Sometimes we'll have the chameleon on when we have no chameleon gear on, but we can always cast the illusion spell that gives us chameleon, and that will actually remove the invisibleness, so then we can move around freely. We also can use bows here. Now bows with stealth aren't as strong as they were in Oblivion, but they're still quite strong. And that 3 times damage is really nice, especially when they don't really see you if you have the full chameleon. Like we just cast it twice and we became fully invisible there. So 100% is all you need to be able to get the full invisibility. But you can see there, it makes you pretty much untouchable. So with building a rogue assassin, we got to pick a Birthsign, obviously. Now, the thief makes the most sense, but there's some better options as well. So with this gives you plus 10 agility, meaning you're going to have more damage early in the game with your bows and short swords. Fortify luck, one of the hardest abilities to level up because it takes 4 points of your 12 every time that you level up. So luck is really good to have, and 10 points of speed because being unhittable is nice. So the thief is the one that I would recommend personally. However, you could also go with like the warrior for the increased endurance for more health, and strength will mean that you can do more damage with long swords, although probably better to go with something a bit more short sword focused. The lady also will give you plus 10 to your endurance and willpower, so if you want to add in some illusion spells, this would work great too. I personally recommend the Lord though. This is probably the best Birthsign. It used to be the worst, now it's the best with the remastered Oblivion. This gives you 15 armor rating and 15% magic resistance early in the game. This is great, but even late game, still very nice. So that can be a good one. If you wanted to, even the Atronach can be a very solid choice because this will give you more magicka, so you can cast some spells if you wanted to, but it gives you a 50% chance of absorbing spells, which is huge because then you're just going to not take in as much damage, but you don't regenerate magicka as a result. Some people like the Steed for the extra speed, but I don't think it's that great. I think that the best would be the Thief, the Lady, the Lord, or the Warrior, and then if you really want to do a weird play style, the Atronach's good too. I see a lot of people recommending the Lover and the Serpent because they fit thematically with an assassin, giving you a paralyze and a poison attack, but these actually suck and they're just a 1 time a day spell. Not that great when you can get better buffs, and especially the Thief giving that plus 10 to luck. As for race or identity selection, Wood Elf and Khajiit and even Argonian are pretty solid, but Khajiit and Wood Elf are going to be your best too, giving bonuses to their agility, and this is great for archery. Obviously the Wood Elf it used to be a pretty not powerful identity in Oblivion. It's a lot better now, so that's a good choice too. I would recommend playing what you personally prefer, but of the best, Wood Elf, the Khajiit, and even the Dark Elf, given that huge resistance to fire damage, is really impactful, and they're also good with swords and bows, so this works well too. But I would say Wood Elf, Dark Elf, or Khajiit for the best 3. There already is an assassin class here, but we can make this even better. Taking acrobatics as a skill is a big waste, so we're going to go with our own custom class here. Now for what specialization, obviously stealth makes sense here, plus 5 bonus to increase more rapidly, as we're going to use those skills a lot. For attributes, agility and speed can be okay. I wouldn't fully recommend speed because movement speed is not a massive stat. Endurance and agility can be a good start here. This will increase your maximum health and defines how quickly you regenerate health. Agility gives you more damage with your weapons, as well as maximum fatigue and how fast you recover it. Another good choice is actually luck, because again, this is a hard stat to level up. That's like 5 levels worth of your luck increasing, which is huge. So that can be another good choice. If you wanted to go more spellcasting, intelligence, willpower, but I think that the best choices are endurance and luck here for our attributes, with agility being a replacement too. You could even go agility or luck. Any of those 3 would be the best. Now for our skills, this is where it gets gets a little bit interesting because we're mostly going to be focused on stealth. So I'd actually recommend light armor. Light armor is nice over robes or any other type of option because you can enchant multiple pieces to give you a bunch of benefits later on in the game. So light armor is going to be very effective. And plus it's going to be good for sneaking around, which I recommend, again, taking off your boots to be able to do that more effectively. I would recommend taking marksman too. Bows are going to be a good source of damage, and we can even add in some spell casting if you wanted to, but marksman's going to be great for that. Security and mercantile, not the best, because with security you can literally get the skeleton key. This is one of the biggest wastes of a skill in the game. Sneak, though, is a big part of how we play, so you can go with this here. This will help you with moving around. You can literally level your sneak up to 100 at the start of the game, so take that if you want, but it can make the game really hard at the start. Now for weapons, I recommend using a blade weapon. Short swords and daggers are going to be your two best friends. You could go blunt, but I think that blade just works a little bit better. You can go with like the armor to repair your items and even block, but if you're going to block a decent bit, so this is actually a skill that also levels up really quickly. I think that's best to add in some magic here. Alchemy being the first one that stands out because we can craft potions, making our dagger attacks much more devastating. And we also want to be able to use potions too for healing. Now, conjuration can be nice if you get spotted in combat. You're not going to have the same brutality and attacks that a warrior would have. So sometimes having a summon around can help a lot with distracting the enemy and drawing aggro away from you. So I think that's great. But the main magic we want is illusion. This allows you to hide yourself, silence, paralyze, command. There's a lot of good that you can do with this. So mysticism is cool too. This has some different effects, same as alteration. Both those are fun schools, but I think that illusion makes the most sense here because you can turn yourself invisible with the chameleon spell. I always recommend taking restoration as a skill as well because you're going to want to be able to heal yourself, and that's just the best way to do it is using restoration spells. You could also go, again, conjuration or restoration. Depending if you're going to use potions more from alchemy, go with the conjuration, or if you're going to use this more so for poisons and use restoration for heal, go this way. I think conjuration is incredibly powerful. It even has the Oblivion logo on there because you pull them from the Oblivion plane. So I like conjuration if you do get into an attack where you can't one-shot an enemy. Being able to summon in a Daedroth helps quite a bit. So I think it's great, but you can always swap conjuration out for restoration. We're mostly going to be focused on light armor, marksman, sneak. Security is a skill that's kind of waste. Same with mercantile, speechcraft as well, and acrobatics. Those are all kind of waste skills. So we go with those two as well, restoration or conjuration, and the blade skill. So that is it for it, and I'll show you what to do in combat. Illusion's especially useful in the later game when you can get like the Will of Sithis here, which is from the, if you do the Dark Brotherhood, you can get this spell. Also for illusion spells, you can go with obviously the chameleon spells, which are really nice to have. Even something like paralyze with the Black Winter here, doing a bit of frost damage and paralyzing a target's really nice. You even have command spells are going to be useful, as well as any of the paralyzed ones, because when they're paralyzed, you can just whack away at them as much as you want. But what this will end up looking like, so we got our stealth here. I'm just using the Brotherhood outfit. A bunch of people right here, perfect for us to go ahead with our sneak attack, and then using a spell there to command them. So they're now on our side, and this helps out a lot because he's actually not on our side. That's okay though. What we can do is whenever we get jumped like that, we can go ahead and pull out a summon. It's like the Frost Atronach here is going to be a good one. Because this will actually help us as we can just run around kiting them with our bow attacks. Well, the Atronach there is just kind of, you know, pulling its aggro or running into a wall there, getting stuck as per usual. Now, the nice part is we can literally go on a killing spree and sometimes people won't even see you. And this is without chameleon, but with chameleon, this is even better. So we can sneak around pretty undetected here. I would recommend using melee attacks for your sneak attacks as they're going to do a bit more damage. Although using a bow is also quite satisfying. That goes into the stealth archer territory there, but we can literally sneak up behind them, do quite a bit of damage, and then if we fail to take them out, we can always command them here to be on our side. So then, not working out as smoothly as possible, but yeah, anytime there's summons, just go straight for the summoner there and take them out. We got a lot of enemies coming at us here, so blocking a little bit, and then whenever we can get cornered, we can pop out our Atronach here once we get enough mana to be able to pop that, because the summons will be good for just dragging people away from us. Now, as a stealthier class, we want to focus more on using our stealth, but the thing is, when we get our speed up high enough, we can literally just kite people around like this and be pretty unhittable here. So even in third person, which is normally not as easy to dodge around, you can see there, we took them out pretty quick and easily. So that is an OP stealth-based assassin rogue. You can throw in some archery, you can throw in some magic. That's just the nature of playing in Oblivion. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you got any questions, feel free to leave them below. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you all in the next video.